the Enlightenment chasers. Royalties of peace. We are stealing the storm back to peace that has no storm while holding on to perfect peace. It is Thursday, May 8th of 2025. And this is episode 44 of the Golden Age podcast by Maurice Free Lefin. Thursday, May 8th, 2025. In USA, the United States of America, honoring a new national holiday commemorating the end of World War II victory. According to USA Today by Catherine Palmer. A day honored all over the world except for USA, which had not yet been part of this victory celebration. For a reason. His Excellency President Donald Trump indicates USA's victory over Europe. Celebration. Just like Cinco de Mayo of Mexico celebration, victory over the French rule in 1862. And I emphasized victory celebration, the independence achievement is battlefield free, accomplishing of both victims, the independence of the mind greater than even of the land we own. Cinco de Mayo. On that day, His Excellency President Donald Trump established two federal holidays honoring the two world wars. November 11, victory celebration of World War I, and May 8, victory celebration of World War II. The victory celebration of World War I is on the same day with the Veterans Day of the United States of America, honoring the veterans, the retired soldiers. Or respected protectors of the land. So far, USA has so many holidays. And in establishing these two holidays, it's not just about celebration. Must we ask ourselves, if every day was a holiday, will we all stop working? That is the effort to bring us to our understanding. The hope to enter into eternal peace without leaving behind despair. The resolving of despair. Must every accomplishment be celebrated? Do we really merit all these holidays at this time? USA could have been celebrating this holiday alongside every other nation. Until now, and the question to us is, do we really merit celebrating World War II victory? When it comes to USA all over the world, it must be perfect. It must be 99.9. Every other nation could fail, but USA cannot fail because USA is all in one. All pluribus honor. So when we are celebrating victory, what does that mean to us? We must enable the young to understand, the younger generation to understand what victory is. The establishment of independence, battlefield-free mind, by educating self continuously to maintain growth of independence. When the true independence is of reaching integrity and not becoming an infant again. When the true independence is that final generation that will enter integrity with no infants. Like abnormality, but rather normal. Therefore, we have been abnormal for so long, yearning for USA to establish that light that will shine all over the world. That started with those in the North. It is always about the North, isn't it? To shine light to those in the South. Yet the shining light to those in the South is not a nature, but rather a fulfilling of our existence in the place of a battlefield, that there is an end to a battlefield, and it is of becoming upright. South can be north, and north south, depending wherever you are of understanding. Even when they call the north south, you will know by reasoning which is north, and that will show perfection of knowledge. When you're able to understand the twist wherever there is a twist, how perfect would that be of our being? When an infant is the superiority of our world, looking like south to the seniors, looking unto integrity, which is still to be experienced of perfect. The seniors look like babies to the infants, still trying to understand the disabled world, still trying to be part of the disabled world, contrary to one who has already been part, having so much of memory to work upon. Ask the soldiers what it feels like after a war. It is not the same like you started it in the first place. Getting excited about another holiday, especially when it happens to be on your birthday, should not deprive you of understanding why you are celebrating yourself. Gaining integrity, not only aware of the despair, but the solution to resolve the despair. Though for others is a vexation day, of the need to labor, to work, the hours lost for a high-end paycheck to combat the high prices in the stores today. the working hours to have enough funds to resolve the tariffs, like misery in a way, to integrity? Must we first ask ourselves the question, why is it even a vexation, if not a reminder we are overdoing? A simplicity. When asked to run 1 mile and you run 10 miles, how do you blame your breathing compared to one running just 1 mile? How do you blame the one with joy when you've overworked yourself, following instructions, only deprived by our increase in number? Some being educated and others not really followed, leads us to the place of regret of either self, none of expectation, or a brother or a neighbor or a friend with limitation, disrupts the excitement of one who deserves to be excited. Approve we are supposed to be one. Honor perfect peace where there is no diversities, weaknesses. When a glass is whole, it is one, uniform. But when in pieces, you have so many different shapes. How do we resolve this battlefield of the mind? Happy holiday, happy holiday. Well, what does it mean to us? To cease from enabling the activities that reverses one who has entered integrity into experiencing despair again in the name of infant. Time to really understand why we have Erickson's human development theory. It's not just to keep the cycle, but to understand it is an awareness of a weakness that must seek wellness, not complicated grief. Keep it in desolation. Yes, it sounds abnormal. I am not surprised myself. It sounded so abnormal. But when you understand the enlightenment of the forefathers of origin, you realize how sad it feels to bring one back into this world of time today. So advanced. Our seniors having a hard time to even work with the tools that we are making today. Or maybe left behind. If they do not work with the AI world today, they might be left behind. Even though they are in a place of ascending, they must be able to ascend healthily. They must need someone to support them, someone to work with them and assist them. The proof that this state of being is not permanent. It is a place of recovery. Like the backstage before you get to the stage. A place to correct your mistakes before light shines on you and everyone able to see you, expecting integrity of perfection. High-end life is beautiful, for sure, but when a glass of water should cost your earning, then that is a misconception presented, and that we must sort it out. What is this misconception? Such that even just drinking glass of water should cost your any. How can water become luxury? It's not by expense. But when it's expensive, then there is an alarm in the air. We are overdoing than what we have. We have 5 children for a bottle of water, and the water tariffs placed on it may seem like wickedness. But if it is wickedness, then we are only looking at ourselves in the mirror of how wicked are we to disrupt one who has reached integrity in the superiority, trying to maintain peace, drop back down like a bag of cement in the name of making the baby, who have to start all over, babbling, learning words, like that is all we have to experience with them. The merry lullaby becomes an environmental experience of contradictions to integrity. Some not even able to go to school with special needs. How devastating. World War One, World War Two, Independence Day, the cry of humanity, of higher intelligence, on the behalf of all other existence, primitive, looking unto us to fulfill that mission which all other planets have, being void of existence. It's not us to fill them up, but to comprehend. It's about reaching integrity so that every in it can enter the inner sanctum, our origin. Infancy to integrity, we yearn, not a life cycle, a lifestyle to perfect peace, the inner sanctum. Infancy to integrity must enter the inner sanctum of perfect peace. Not trying to enable planetary lives, like stuck up in a ball in which we grow and expand, having the space so small to contain us. We want to be expelled out of it and enter into another. What are these prisons we make for ourselves in the name of human body or bodies? The battlefield, the true body, which is like a barrier around our perfect peace of mind. Freedom from slavery, freedom from battlefields, where even the victor is not free until the opponent is of equal peace with them. A victory today for one could be a loss for tomorrow if they do not maintain peace treaty. We must come to our senses. USA victory over Europe, like Cinco de Mayo of Mexico over the French rule, must reach reasoning of divided. We must find the inner sanctum of each other and hold on to, of perfect peace. Reminds us why Canada has not yet settled for the reunion with USA. its companion over the Enlightenment chasing of America to fulfill Africa, of battlefield free of the mind, no longer keeping of descendants, but entering into eternity, the inner sanctum, the eternity that does not break into pieces or pause for a contradiction. Canada raising shoulders over USA, claiming it is not for sale, is also raising the eyebrows of the inner sanctum. Of what does that even mean? Do they even understand what they are communicating to the inner sanctum of not trying to become one, or not even giving excuses and reasons that could resolve the division? It is not about the size, it is about enlightenment. It's about the purpose of our forefathers fulfilling. His Excellency President Trump is trying to enforce Columbus Day. So we understand, why will a European leave their own land to another to make it their own, when Rome was not built in one day? The Roman Empire, of its greatness, like every other empire, yet never satisfying. Even the riches of this world are not satisfying. There's always something missing that must be found. The reason we wonder about the earth. Even to today, some live in their rich homes in Africa, coming to America to work slavery jobs you will not even believe. Having an encounter with one of their own servants at the same place of work, it's devastating and disturbing of the mind, a battlefield. What are we looking for? Is it really about making babies of the United States of America? Like, what is it about the United States of America that every other country does not have of enlightenment? Even Prince Harry, of all kingdoms, choosing to settle in the United States of America with a black woman, it's not only about making babies. The battlefield of the mind, expressing in so many forms, reminding us there's nothing satisfying under the sun. No matter how rich you are, there is need for equality. Black and white must become one. But how do we become one if not of integrity ascending? Battlefield of the mind. The need for independence, the need for freedom, the need to emancipate self from mental slavery. Canada is not for sale. What does that mean? When babies are not for sale either. Human right to make babies? Really? Who gives babies? That is supernatural, an abnormality that we try to make natural. Even with the disabled children and children with special needs, expressing a code of emergency on that area of the mind. Babies are not for sale either. You do not just sit and pull one down. It's like enslaving. If slavery is not right, that is exactly what it is like. Canada is not for sale, therefore, Canada must prove itself by trying to maintain celibacy of expected and luxurious living to stand their ground of what it means of Canada is expensive to buy. A great statement by the Prime Minister of Canada. Only if we interpret it right of the inner sanctum, then we will fulfill our existence, needing not even a physical presentation to remind us who we are. America. No matter what name you have, you are America. United States of America is all of America. We are already united of the inner sanctum. We can express that physically by our celibacy and luxurious living if we want to maintain our names. We can all be children of one. El pluribus unum. Canada must reach its enlightenment, understanding of its bilingual status, keeping of European America, both French and English speaking. The victory over Europe is of greater enlightenment than of Europe, not just of a battlefield or raising hands on each other, but actually what is taking place is the underlining of enlightenment, greater, achieving. An independent son is one who can sustain self. And a dependent son is not by age, but one who can sustain self. The inner sanctum is speaking. Wisdom must be applied in every area of our transitioning. Enlightenment chasers, please. This reminds me of the 20th May of Cameroon, the Independence Day. Like Canada is Cameroon of bilingual speaking French and English. The Independence Day of Cameroon happening to be of 20th May. A reminder of the opposing United States over the federal states. The reason, because the Southern Cameroon had not reached their enlightenment of expected. The chosen of outstanding was not yet complete. Like renown, but still perfecting, is now reaching its perfection and needing that federal state to which it is given its power to maintain itself. Alongside the central governing power. The Southern Cameroonian youths must understand what history has been trying to illustrate. So we fall not back contradicting self. USA today experiencing a struggle between the high class and those of family class, not expecting a civil war, but rather sound mind of achieving knowledge over years. It is about celibacy and luxury, sophisticated buildings, and not increasing in numbers. Rome might not have taken one day to build. America today must be built already of the enlightenment of the mind. The true Rome is not only of the physical, but of the mind, which must present all over the world today, of reaching completion with our ancestors of origin, the enlightenment, of ascending, no more descending. Like Burkina Faso, enforcing luxurious living, must also shine light on the disability of trying to increase in number, which could dismantle the nation. You don't want to rise and fall back. It really hurts. And which is why there is the raise of eyebrows. You do not want to lay a foundation for children who will fall back and blame yesterday of not telling the truth. We must be able to build with all truth. We must enlighten the young. The building of sophisticated infrastructures is not to increase in number, because increasing in number will break this sophisticated infrastructure to the distress of the young of that time and how great our fall will be of all generations. We must try to avoid this, knowing that though we are like divided, we are one. El plebis uno. No to war, no to conflicts. No to breaking down one who is reaching their integrity of superiority, maintaining the inner sanctum. May not be visible of the physical being, but in a mist. Independent forevermore. And independent forevermore it must be. The cradle of our forefathers, the inner sanctum, where we are being robbed in the time of despair and tears, should not be abused. It's time we learn not to bite the finger that feeds us. Not only traveling this world like nations, but a one of higher intellect, seeking for perfection of none left behind. It's not about multiplying in numbers. It's about living this sophisticated living of higher mind. We are not for sale, meaning we are not trying to be a subordinate or a left behind of the inner sanctum, but belonging. Perfect peace of mind comes with being lifted up from the dust to a cleaner version of our being. Peace stills the storm, back to peace that has no storm. Looking unto perfect peace, victory over our conflicts. Independence Day. Mother Nature, nurturing and caring those with despair back to integrity. From the motherhood of a woman's womb to the earth of integrity, not entering the tombs, but becoming free from the jail, is reversing the jail to perfect peace. The physical body needing to return to perfect invisibility. Ice sublimes, water evaporates. Until when the particles need no collisions or frictions. Free at last, free at last. Battlefield free of the mind is where victory must be perfect. None left behind. The inner sanctum of perfect peace we all belong. Thank you.